So good to be with you here today. The fact is that we are all living in a world which right now is a troubled place. Pandemics, quarantines, social unrest, very serious conditions that have the ability to cause deep anxiety and lack of safety and fear. Now, theology is words at the service of the unspeakable. And so this day I'm going to be quite audacious. I'm going to speak about the inner life of God that resides at the very heart of the mystery of the entire universe. It can be a spiritual powerhouse. The truth is crucial because you and I are actually formed in the image of that God. So we must try and plumb the mystery. The Christian insight into God is unique in all religions, and that insight is that God is love. The word love and God are interchangeable. So what is love? Love is the energy toward union, coming together. Before the creation of the universe, even because God is a community of persons called the Trinity. God is literally love. The Trinity is a dynamic, exciting. God's love moves in the universe and into the most intimate parts of your and my life. God invites, God transforms, and God models. First of all, God's love invites. I would like to share with you an ancient image of the Trinity. This is kind of a simple, it's ancient, and the reason it's a Trinity because they could not make a picture of God, so they used angels. He used three angels, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And these angels are seated at a dinner table, and the table has one seat missing. And the seat that is missing from that eternal banquet of love is you and me. We are called to the inner life of God's love. There's a place for wonderful cornucopia of good things await this invitation to the inner life of God. I like to think of Trinity in terms of roles: creator, redeemer, and sanctifier. And the old sign of the cross was in the name of the Father, through the Son, in the Holy Spirit. We're all part of God's plan of invitation to the love feast of the inner life of the Trinity for all eternity. Whoa, think of that. We're all called from eternity to the inner life of God's love feast. And what that truth is fundamentally relationship. The ultimate truth of the universe is relationship. God's essence is a relationship of persons. The ultimate person of God. That is the meaning of the Trinity, and this is the Genesis meaning of us being created in the image of God. For God is love is not poetry. It is embodied in our very belief that God created love, community, and you and I are invited to share in that community of love. If you'd like to say with me, I welcome Trinity's invitation to God's inner life of love. I welcome Trinity's invitation to God's inner life of love. So secondly, love of God transforms. The powerful truth is that the love of God underlines all human behaviors. You see, it works this way. Our behaviors begin with images. Images form attitudes, and attitudes are the basis of our choices. These attitudes form behavior. So healthy, true images bring good attitudes and lead to good choices and successful behavior. The Trinity transformed me by the foundational image of loving, the basis of the inner life of the Trinity. Genesis tells us that we were created in the image of God, who is love, which means connection. This image moves into our attitudes, the way of thinking, the way of feeling about life. This leads to behaviors. False images bring bad attitudes, which end up in unhealthy behavior. That's why we begin with a good image of God as love, which leads to good attitudes and good behavior. Where do we look for, most of us look for happiness in life? Well, mainly we tend to look outside of ourselves, to all the toys we surround ourselves, or philosophies, whatever, all the stuff we have. Secretly, we think that if we had enough money, we would be happy. For us today, we are, have computers and technology and feel that the problems of the world would all be solved if we were able to use the right technology. Basically, what we're doing is informing, confusing truth with information. Confuse truth to what makes me feel good and practice in the world. If I would never find the truth, happiness, and purpose. The God-love attitude based in the Trinity transforms me and my attitudes and is the basis of my choices. So if you'd like to say with me, the Trinity image transforms my attitudes and is the basis of my choices. So thirdly, God's love models. God models communal love. Community is not just the goal, it is the means to salvation. In the Jewish tradition, God always approached the people as community. Jesus surrounded himself with community. He traveled around Israel, not only with 12 people, but with a whole retinue of people from city to city. And where was he? He was always at table. What does a table symbolize? It symbolizes community. The history of spirituality is that people thought that they wanted to be like Jesus, so they would get themselves martyred or wear hair shirts or do all sorts of crazy stuff. And St. Benedict said, you got it all wrong. Your hair shirts aren't going to get you anywhere. Your asceticism will never get you to God if it misses community. Community more than a frill, some theological acrobatics. The image of God as community forms the attitude that dictates human behavior and is rooted in community. Each of us belongs to several communities. Our family, our parish, our civil community, the community of friends, the work community, our world. Communities are literally systems of God love opportunities for you and me to transform them in the image of God of divine love. So would you like to say with me? I build community modeled on Trinity's inner life of love. God's love transforms, models, and invites. You know, this is really radical stuff. Community forms the inner core of all reality. It is that love in which we are created that makes us in God's image. The bottom line, the foundational truth. Therefore, I can relax. You know why? Love isn't going away. There will always be an opportunity to make choices on the basis of the inner life of God's love. This is the good news of Trinity Sunday.